You know, forensic science is something that's really starting to take center stage in India's criminal justice system. With everything that's happening, from the rise in crime rates to the complexity of the cases we're seeing, it's clear that forensic science is no longer just a luxury, it's a necessity. Take a step back for a second and think about what forensic science really does. It's not just about the high-tech gadgets and sophisticated labs. It's about the meticulous application of scientific methods to help solve crimes. It's the application of scientific methods to help solve crimes, right? But it goes deeper than that. It's about bringing objectivity and precision to investigations that can often be clouded by human error or bias. So whether it's analyzing DNA, fingerprints, digital data, or even ballistics, forensic experts provide that solid, undeniable proof that law enforcement and the courts need. This scientific rigor is what makes forensic evidence so compelling in the courtroom. This is crucial for two reasons. It helps identify the guilty, but it also protects the innocent. In a country where the judicial process can be long and arduous, having concrete evidence can expedite justice. And in India, that objectivity is especially important. Our legal system is vast and varied, and forensic science offers a universal language of evidence that transcends regional and cultural differences. With our diverse population, different languages, cultures, and judicial processes across states, forensic evidence cuts through all of that complexity. It provides a common ground where facts speak louder than words. Now, India, with over 1.4 billion people, faces some unique law enforcement challenges. The sheer scale of the population means that the law enforcement agencies are often stretched thin. Just last year, the National Crime Records Bureau reported more than 60 lakh criminal cases. Staggering, right? This number is not just a statistic. It represents real people, real victims, and real challenges for the justice system. It's not just the sheer volume, but also the types of crimes we're dealing with now. From petty thefts to heinous crimes, the spectrum is wide and varied. From organized crime to cybercrimes, there's a lot going on. Each type of crime brings its own set of challenges and requires specialized forensic techniques to solve. And let's face it, with the traditional methods of investigation, our criminal justice system struggles to keep up. The old ways of relying solely on eyewitness accounts and confessions are no longer sufficient. That's where forensic science becomes a game changer. It introduces a level of precision and reliability that traditional methods simply cannot match. Imagine a hit-and-run case, for instance. These cases are notoriously difficult to solve because the perpetrator often leaves little to no trace. Say the driver flees the scene, leaving just a few shards of broken glass behind. To the untrained eye, these might seem insignificant. Before forensic science, what would the police have done? Question witnesses, look for security footage, things that are important but might not always lead to concrete evidence. But now, they can analyze those pieces of glass, figure out the make and model of the vehicle, and narrow down suspects. This kind of detailed analysis can turn a seemingly hopeless case into a solvable one. That tiny shard, something that would have been overlooked, becomes a critical lead thanks to forensic technology. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, but with a powerful magnet. When we move to violent crimes like homicides or sexual assaults, forensic science steps up in an even bigger way. These are the cases where the stakes are incredibly high, and the need for accurate evidence is paramount. In murder cases, forensic pathologists can determine how someone died, estimate when they died, and even piece together what happened at the crime scene. This kind of information is invaluable for both the investigation and the prosecution. In murder cases, forensic pathologists can determine how someone died, estimate when they died, and even piece together what happened at the crime scene. This kind of information is invaluable for both the investigation and the prosecution. DNA analysis in particular is so powerful now. It's like having a genetic fingerprint that can link a suspect to a crime scene with incredible accuracy. It can link a suspect directly to the crime or, equally important, completely rule someone out. This dual capability makes DNA evidence a double-edged sword in the quest for justice. As India continues building its DNA database, this tool is going to help solve even more cases faster. The more comprehensive the database, the more powerful the tool becomes. And think about the rise in sexual assault cases. These are some of the most emotionally charged and complex cases to investigate. You've seen how these cases often hinge on biological evidence like semen or hair. The ability to analyze these samples accurately can make or break a case. In many convictions, it's DNA evidence that clinches the verdict. This kind of evidence is hard to dispute, making it a powerful tool for prosecutors. With the rising number of sexual crimes in India, DNA technology is becoming a cornerstone in securing justice for survivors. It's not just about catching the perpetrator, it's about giving survivors the closure they need. But let's not forget the cybercrimes. In today's digital age, these crimes are becoming increasingly common and sophisticated. We live in a digital world, and as India rapidly embraces the internet and mobile technology, digital forensics has become just as crucial. The digital footprint left behind can be as telling as physical evidence. We're seeing a huge spike in online fraud, hacking, and identity theft. These crimes can have devastating effects on individuals and businesses alike. It's scary how quickly cybercriminals can exploit vulnerabilities, but that's why digital forensics is key. It's about staying one step ahead of the criminals. Whether it's recovering deleted files, analyzing email trails, or tracing IP addresses, digital forensics allows law enforcement to catch up with these tech-savvy criminals. It's a game of cat and mouse, but with the right tools, the odds are in our favor. And when you think about national security, terrorism, organized crime, again, forensic science is at the forefront. These are threats that require the highest level of expertise and precision. After a terror attack, forensic experts analyze everything, from bomb fragments to fingerprints. This meticulous work can provide crucial leads in the investigation. They can trace the origin of explosives or link firearms to multiple crimes, helping to dismantle entire criminal networks. This kind of work is not just about solving individual cases. It's about disrupting criminal organizations. Now, despite its potential, forensic science in India still has a long way to go. The labs here? They're doing incredible work, but they're often under-resourced and overburdened. They're underfunded and overwhelmed with backlogs. This is a significant hurdle that needs to be addressed if we want to fully realize the potential of forensic science. In rural areas, it's even tougher because they often don't have qualified experts or advanced equipment. This disparity between urban and rural areas is a challenge that needs urgent attention. And honestly, law enforcement officers need better training in evidence collection too. The best forensic analysis in the world is useless if the evidence is not collected properly. If evidence is contaminated at the scene, it becomes useless in court. This is why proper training and protocols are so crucial, but the potential is enormous. With the right investments and improvements, forensic science can revolutionize the way we approach criminal justice in India. With more investment, training, and public awareness, forensic science can be the pillar of a more efficient and fair justice system in India. It's about creating a system where the truth is undeniable and justice is swift. It's not just about solving crimes faster, it's about building a system where the evidence does the talking. A system where justice is not just a concept, but a reality for everyone.